you're interested in fruit trees, growing your own food in your backyard, in your apartment, you're in the right spot. Welcome. If you're new, please subscribe. We do streams, and I think that could be fun for you to participate in. Maybe ask a question of me in the community. Well, happy Thanksgiving 2020. Okay. In this video, I would like to see what I can harvest from my backyard, my fruit jungle, to use on Thanksgiving Day. Now, I just look around and see lots of opportunities, but I'll do a quick little run through and got the chat on, so if you would like to participate, you certainly can. So first pick is what I'm in front of right here, which is the beautiful Myers lemon tree. Look at that. That's what you want. Lemons are a very resilient and hardy citrus, and that's why I recommend them as a good choice for your yard. Now, if you are lucky enough to be able to grow a navel orange tree or something like that, I would urge you to do so. In my yard, I'm in more of a salty coastal environment in Florida that gets a lot of salt influence. That is really tough to do with the citrus, and especially with the saltiness of my irrigation system. But these this lemon tree, but lemons in general, some limes, also grapefruits, are much more hardy, much more fast growing, much bigger producers of fruit crops reliably, much less pest impacted. They're not pest resistant. And the thing is, in Florida, there's just every critter wants to chow down on the non-native citrus tree here. This is what they call Indian River citrus, but look at that leaf. This is not a pretty picture. You can see it's got leaf-boring insects. It's kind of burnt from the salt spray. It's the salt irrigation, but it powers through all that, and it just keeps growing, which is why I love it. And it produces some years, many years. All the lemons have been blown off by hurricane winds. I'd say probably 5 or 6 different years over the last 20 years, all the lemons were blown off to the ground. However, this was not one of those years. Not here. Many other parts of Florida, all the lemons were blown to the ground. But I will give thanks for the non-delemonification of my yard by heavy winds. We had some winds, but it was nowhere near heavy here, thankfully. So yeah, this is a great reliable one. Some drawbacks maybe are that it has thorns. That's something to consider. I try to keep up on the thorns and the little suckers that grow around the base to reduce the probability. Really, the thing with the thorns on this one, I found the danger is when you clip it, when you trim it, I would have a yard waste container right nearby, so that as you trim it, you put it in there. As you trim it, you put it in that container. Because if you don't, what I found is, see this little guy right here? Yeah, that one. Like, you trim this off, it falls, it lays on the ground flat, and then this becomes the perfect sole of your foot impaler, and you step right on it. There you go. Bad moment. So if you just or your kid does that as he's running to catch a football right here, because we throw the football right down this lane here. By the way, special sneak look at the Eat Your Backyard Advanced Studio. That's my outside streaming den right now. It was we had those tropical breezes a blowing, and I used that to stream from. See, it's a glorious fall morning. Okay, so we're gonna pick some of these lemons. Start with that one. I'll put it right on this table here. And why are we picking these lemons? Oh, look at that one. I love it. Well, the reason we're picking them is because we're going to put them into cranberry sauce. And I'm actually going to do a live stream of that cranberry sauce making. Okay, so there we have it. A couple of lemons is more than enough lemon power for two-cup bags, I believe. It's 2 of the bags of cranberries that we get at the store. I think those are grown up in New Jersey, if I'm not mistaken. It's kind of cool. Cranberry bogs. I don't know if you know about cranberry bogs. But okay, we've got high likelihood of spider presence. I almost walked into a spider web. I try not to actually. This is one of the more kind of I don't know, weird things I do, but I actually try not to knock down the spiders' nests and stuff that I see around and webs, just because I like that there's more of a complete system in the yard, so to speak. I like to see all the parts functioning, so I try not to eradicate anything like that. But then I find myself often walking into them, which is another philosophical lesson. Okay, so here's the other thing. See that? You have to make that sound when you pick them, in case you didn't know. An ant on it. That's what I mean about the ecosystem. I guess it just violated my rule, getting rid of that ant. The ant didn't make the cut. It's a little bruise there from... These are such delicate fruits. You know that hit band, The Delicate Fruits, in the 1970s? No, it wasn't a band. But it is a state that these starfruit get into. And it's because they're all bunched up. Look, they're oh yeah, see this one. Yeah, so delicate that they just take the tumble. Man down. Look at there. A little spider action. Okay, wipe that off. Make it pretty. Yeah, and there is the requisite amount of flora and fauna growing on these things, like the little spider webs, and there's bugs and things. I like that. I think if you don't have that, that's not natural. I don't think that's the normal way of the world. But still, despite that, these fruit are growing through it, and it's really a matter of just picking the right fruit for your yard, for your environment. Starfruit happened to work real well here, just growing in this loose soil. It's kind of self-composting with the fruit dropping there often. Now, both of these will grow well from seed. Both. However, if you plant this lemon seed, you're unlikely to get fruit that is like this. I mean, you may end up getting some fruit, but it's really no guarantee that you're going to get a good fruit result. I'll just sum it up by saying that. I have lots of videos on this topic, so I'm not going to go too in depth. Whereas the starfruit will grow true to seed. It'll taste very much like the fruit that you had picked it from or taken it from. And I'll show you an example here, but before I go into that, let me tell you about a new series which I just kicked off the first episode of, and I hope some of you have seen it, or maybe if you're seeing this stream in the future, you'll go watch it, where I talk with a local master gardener here about in his fruit jungle. Well, it's actually him and his partner's fruit jungle. They have a thing going where they're growing. They'd actually, well, anyway. All I'll say is that it was a new kind of video, and it's a new kind of series that I wanted to start, where I do a little bit longer, a little bit more in-depth videos on certain types of edible plants, and interacting with people like Ben in that video, and I'm going to be doing plenty more videos with him, I'm sure. Really expands my horizons, but give a little information on the plant itself, and then go into lots of interesting stuff. We're also going to expand. I'm going to expand into looking at the medicinal plants. What I mean by that are things, even things like sage and mint and all of these just natural things you can grow in your yard easily that do claim to have some health benefits. And I think if you're just connecting with your backyard, with your environment, that's a health benefit, regardless of any vitamins. So yeah, hopefully you go check that out and watch the upcoming episodes. I'll be releasing a lot of episodes. Now look at what here we go. This is part of this table here is part of a series I have called What You Got Growing On the channel. I grow things from seed. I grew this from a seed. I actually grew 4 seeds of starfruit in a pot, single pot, and I put 5 seeds from one starfruit. I made a stream about it into one pot. Out of the 5 seeds, 4 sprouted. Out of those 4, I separated them very crudely. That's in another stream. Into 4 pots. Out of those 4 plants, 3 survived. So here, this is a juvenile starfruit tree grown from a seed. Roughly, this is something you can do, right? By the way, I'll put links in the description to starfruit seeds you can get easily and inexpensively online. That's also a good way to support the channel if you're wanting to. If you click on those links, by the way, anything you get on Amazon helps. Okay, so anyway, I diverge. That's just how you can get it going. But I would rather just inspire you. You could just buy a starfruit at the store, and if you like the flavor, you could do this. There's 100 ways to go at it. If you have a neighbor that has a starfruit taste, ask if you could taste that. A lot of fun ways to go. But if you can get your hands on a starfruit seed, it seems like you have a 4 out of 5 chance of success. Hey, Pale Ranger, I got the question, where am I located? I'm in eastern central Florida, a few blocks from and you're in Melbourne. Excellent. Beautiful, sunny Melbourne, Florida, the harbor city. Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you. Okay, so yeah, this starfruit tree, easy. And we separated now. Like I said, I crudely separated them, right? But truth be told, I don't actually need 4 starfruit trees, so it's okay. And as soon as they die, I repurpose the pot. I mean, I use it for the next thing I'm trying to grow in this series, What You Got Growing On. So this one actually almost died. I think it had all the leaves fall off, and then it just clung to life, and now it's a new shoot. So I think that one's going to be successful as long as they can hold on to life. Now I added cow manure to. There's the other one. That one, it's actually got some new growth, so that one's a strong one as well. So 3 strong growers, and I think I planted 4 others. And holy moly, I'll give you a sneak preview. These episodes of What You Got Growing On are still, they'll be released over the coming weeks, but this is a fast forward to the now, which will be the future for that video when it's released. And that is red kale and red beets grown as microgreens. Look at the redness. This is when you must say, dude, that's cool. That's all it takes for me to throw the, use the cool word. Designate it cool. Red microgreens. So we go into a lot of things on the channel, as you know or may not know. Hope you do know in the future. Ooh, big banana pup. Look at that. New banana variety. So lots going on. But let's get back to the topic at hand. We'll just keep on going. See if there's anything else. Now, I'm not going to actually harvest this one in the video, but there are other things you can do. One novel thing to put on the old Thanksgiving table or holiday table coming up. Look at that. See that lizard? Again. Now that's actually not a Florida native. It's a type of lizard that is very common now, though. So yeah, sugarcane. I've got this green chewing cane. They call it Florida green sugar cane. It's just a type of sugar cane that is coming into season this time of year. You see the reds. That's a reflection of the sugars transforming in the plant itself. But these are great and easy to grow. Sugarcane cuttings. There are links in the description to get cuttings too if you want to. Anyway, you just cut on either end of this and you plant this thing. You can grow a sugarcane plant. I'll show you one example of that I got growing in the series. But to eat it, you just cut it right here, and you can still use the cutting part. You just keep about this much. Cutting will still work. And you eat about this much. And just take off this incredibly hard exterior coating. You have a fibrous thing in the middle that's something like really hard celery. That's too hard to actually chew all the way through. And you just chew on it. It's called chewing cane. So you make these sticks of it, and you just put it on a plate, little sticks. I ought to make a video of it. Maybe I'll trim one up. Let me know in the comments if that seems interesting. So sugarcane, green Florida sugarcane, and I'm going to be this year expanding out to 5 varieties of sugarcane. I set a goal in 2021. 5. I used to have a lot. I'm going to go back to that. Know people with different varieties, so I'm going to expand it. Okay, so sugarcane, that's another good one. Of course, with the sugarcane, it wouldn't be bad to have some finger bananas. Just throw those on the plate. These are the dwarf Cavendish, but they're not quite ripe. And I think what you want is ripeness. And by the way, I've been potting things up and growing them. I got this many more things I'm going to do in the next week or so. Plant, get into the mix, because this is just the ultimate time to grow things in Florida, in my opinion. All right, as we go out through the banana grove, it's evident to me, I know of many hands of bananas back here. I'm looking to see if there's one that looks like it's ripe. Is there one ready to harvest? The light's not very good. Can't seem to get it into an angle that makes it look good. But those, oh, there we go. That's better. Yeah, so those are not fully ripe. And I have more. The top of those may be almost ripe, but they're still not there. So I don't think bananas are going to be in the mix. But you want to get nutty. Yeah, fully crazy. And here's using novelty. And enjoying, there's the harvest, there's the tangible food in your hand that is certainly incredibly important and wonderful, byproduct of being into this kind of stuff. But the novelty of it. And, I'm in America and other parts of the world, it's very common to, look at that size of that thing, to eat the banana flower. That's right. So I think to honor Thanksgiving, go and pick a banana flower. Let's see if I can. Oh, there you go. Wow, that was a struggle. I had the phone right next to the banana branch as it snapped. This is the old banana drip. Oh, there you go. Look at how much water is contained in the banana. See, you can see the white milkiness of the water. I don't want to blur it. Now, that's a good thing for the banana itself, banana plant, because now this just frees up energy from the plant having to create this thing. And it's about as far as it's going to go. But that is a healthy banana flower. Look at that Fibonacci sequence. Sweet. What is the Fibonacci sequence, you say? Nobody wants to know what you know about the Fibonacci sequence, they say. All right, there you are. Now, I've been told by some of the viewers of this channel, I'm assured that the way to eat this is to sometimes boil it, but to ensure that you peel off the outer, harder pieces of it. So this exterior shell is removed, and inside are the much more tender, vegetable-like delicious parts of the flower. Half the battle's knowing what to do with it. That's a cool part of experiencing a new fruit. How do you eat this? Where are the seeds? If I eat too many, will I feel bad? These are good questions to ask. Chances are it's a big world, man. There are a lot of people that have done this. That's the cool thing about Eat Your Backyard is they tell us, hey, and here we do this with the banana flower. Isn't that cool? It's still dripping. Still dripping. Maybe that's bad. Maybe the way is to prevent it from dripping out all the water so it stays more delicious. Or maybe it's good because the banana sap doesn't taste that great. Yeah, if you're bold, what you do is you snap the flower off and then you put this right over your mouth and just let it drip right in there and get a good old swig of that sweet banana juice. It's like banana peel water. Yeah, so I'm going to say this is a pretty cool thing, and you could put the starfruit. All right. No figs this time of year that are really worth figging, worth picking. I mean, you can see there's little end of the year busters on there, but they're not going to make it. Like I'll be eating some of these that form up, but this is just confused fig syndrome. This thing is going. Is it winter? Is it summer? What? Set fruit. No, don't set fruit. Set leaves. Stop. Don't leave. That's kind of what some plants get into this time of year. That's an unfortunate sequence, but it'll do fine. All right, so we have this banana flower. Now, in terms of, what else makes sense to put on the table, I would end it off with, I'm going to go ahead and add this one over to the table. I'd end it off with a few of these Suriname cherries. Let's see if we can get a look at these. Oh, do I have a gopher apple, or a prickly pear cactus? I have a prickly pear. I'll show you that one there, Pale Ranger. Good morning, James Tropical. Yeah, the Cocos plums. Yep, I'm getting ready to make a video of Cocos plums. That's weird you said that. Look at that one. That's like the Halloween Suriname cherry. The fall Suriname cherry. It's got all the fall colors. I like to eat them like that. They're actually real tart like that. But these cherries are good. You can see there's a lot more up there. I don't know how many I'm going to be able to pick one-handed. Let's see. But I'm not going to over-try there. I just want to get the general idea. I can always pick more after. Yeah, there's plenty more up there. It's just a matter of bending the branch down to get to them. These are really bendable, easily bendable branches, so. Hey, Sherry K. And oh, joining the stream from England. Stoked to have you on board. And greetings to beautiful England. Appreciate it. That's really cool. I'm very curious what kind of edible things are being done in England right now this time of year, climate wise. Like, it's a good time to plant vegetables, or you kind of winding down, or the climate of that region of the world is really interesting to me. So heavily influenced by the Gulf Stream, and pretty cool. It's part of every history class I think I've ever taken, is the history of Europe and England. It's so fascinating to me. All right, here we go. Can we get one more fruity goodness from the yard that would be good to put out on Thanksgiving? You see, we're going by these lovely crotons. Now, this is a good example of getting some color and texture into your yard. And here, this is a great option in tropical climates, subtropical climates. This will survive a light cold snap freeze, but no ground freezing. But I don't know how well the camera pick up these colors. But crotons, there are literally hundreds of varieties of crotons. And if you don't know about crotons, congratulations. This moment is like something like your first bite of ice cream, if you're into plants. Hey, AM. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Love to have Jacksonville on board. Home of many beautiful pindo palms. Jacksonville, Florida. Do you know about edible palms? I have been thinking a lot about them, and I actually had my friend Ben actually just nuclear exploded my brain in his fruit jungle by telling me that Eureka palms are producers of edible nuts, and the fruit tastes something like a banana. That was a deeply profound philosophical moment for me personally. You get a window into how I kind of think. But the fact that I had been all these years taking yard waste container full of yard waste container filled to the brim with Eureka seed nuts out to the yard waste when I could have been making sweet, sweet Eureka nut jam. Yeah. Can you make Eureka nut jam? I don't know. Maybe it's like a thing. You know, you go to a country other and yeah, you don't make Eureka nut jam? What are you putting on your PB sandwiches? I mean, anyway, so I'm gonna do it. That's in my jar. I'm actually gonna create this year a physical bucket to have a bucket list and just pull things out. And one of the bucket list things is going to be Eureka nut jam. Make Eureka nut jam. It could be, unless somebody jumps on this cool idea first, could be the first Eureka jam video ever on YouTube. But anyhow, so no Eureka palm nuts now. They were all yard wasted. But that would have been a really interesting novel one. Nobody, part of the deal of having fruit like that is, you bring out the personality traits in people, is another fascinating area to me, how it relates to fruit and novelty, new things. Openness is a well-established domain of a personality trait. And so high openness, low openness, depending on what you are, but you really test people's, hey, you want to try this? It's like, do you want to eat this thing you have no idea of that I'm just telling you is a certain way? Or maybe I'm telling you before you eat it, it tastes kind of weird. Are you going to do it? I love that moment to see how people react. Some of these Thanksgiving things are funny like that, I think, novel. How about papaya? I'm looking to see if there's any ripe ones. Just trying to get the camera up closer. Geez, there's about 1 billion, man. Okay, so this relates to another thing that I'm gonna do. I gotta put this on in the bucket. Put it physically in the bucket, which is, by the way, I'll give a quick disclaimer. This is not virtue signaling, because I'm just gonna do it for fun. But I want to pick like a ton of papaya and donate it to a homeless shelter in some way, or like fruit, like a bunch of bananas and papaya, like really just show up and give them the hook up with the fresh food. I thought that would be a fun, cool thing to do. Like, you could do that, What would stop you from doing that? I mean, there are lots of things that could stop you from doing it, but I'm all systems clear to do that. So I don't know if you see what I'm seeing right there. I'm looking around. I don't have my telescopic papaya picker easily at hand, which is always a bummer, But that one is actually within reach. It is actually within reach of my papaya picker. That one is out of reach. That is actually out of the biggest papaya picker. It's just a fruit picker that I could buy on YouTube. I violated my own protocol, which was to go way outside of pickability range, like into hospital range. There's just a few dumb decisions that put you, as I know, right in the hospital. Hey, I'll put a ladder up on that papaya and climb up there. I wouldn't do that. Hey, let's use this really long thing that ends up falling on the power line. No, don't do that. Yeah, a nursing home. That's a great idea. Yeah, and that's the other thing. I could probably, this would be another fun part of this little experiment, activity, whatever, would be to see how many pounds. Like I could get on a scale and, hold it all over or something, or put it on a scale. Yeah, I could just put it on a scale. I could actually weigh what the food quantity is. Give it to, maybe go give it to a nursing home, give it to a homeless shelter. Just kind of show up, say, come on out, I have it in the back of my truck. Yeah, so lots of fun things to do in 2021. I think I'm going to wrap this up. I just got the notification in the background that it is time to tend to the turkey. Hope you tend to your turkey. I think I'm going to do a. Oh, you sent a big box fruit to a nursing home. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you already did it. Sherry's not talking about it. Just did it. I like that better. Okay, I'm going to go tend to my turkey. Hope you have a great day. I'm going to probably do some live streams a bit later on. So if you have nothing better to do, check on in. Thanks for watching Eat Your Backyard. I hope you have a great day. And if you're not subscribed, please do. Turn on all notifications if you want to be notified as live streams come out. If you want to support the channel, you can click on the links in the description. Or not, that's cool too. Have a